Good afternoon. Welcome to the Enjoy the Journey Luxury Travel Show. David Hartman, owner of Fantastic Endeavors Travel Agency. Go USA. The Olympics are on. We're taking a small break to come and share with you guys the top 7 Olympic vacation destinations as judged by me and my recent client response to a poll and where they booked recently. So we're going to focus on summer Olympiad destinations and places that have hosted the Olympics or maybe will host the Olympics and that are amazing places for a destination vacation. And what better than to go to the Olympics and in an amazing vacation destination, or actually go there and enjoy the history of the Olympics that was there. And when you see my picks, you see I kind of worked that in. As always, like this, we're watching it, share it. It really does help it out. Subscribe to our Fantastic Endeavors YouTube channel. If you're new to the show, watching on YouTube or on Facebook, we are all about inspirational destination experiences. We cover all topics from cruise to Disney to Olympic vacation destinations. So come on, join us and be a part of the community and leave me a comment. What is your favorite destination that hosted the Olympics recently or will host soon? So let's talk about my top 7 and my clients' top 7, because we are a travel agency. And by the way, if you really enjoy this show and our content, you can support us by using our services. Myself, Skip Shearer, Sue Mooney. This is what we do. We plan destination vacations through things like Olympic destinations. Number 7, Helsinki. I actually was researching this today. And Lillehammer, Norway, hosted a Winter Olympics, but Helsinki, Finland, hosted a Summer Olympics in 1952. And that's an amazing destination for a vacation. And they still have a bit of Olympic history there. So that's one I definitely recommend checking out. While you're there, you can visit the other Scandinavian countries and see the history in Lillehammer, Norway, and also visit Sweden, and maybe go over to the rest of Europe. So this is a great place to visit, especially if you want to go in the wintertime and see the Northern Lights, or maybe take a cruise around Norway and visit Helsinki while you're there. I have a lot of clients who book cruises on Norway or to Greenland and Arctic, and they actually visit all the Scandinavian destinations. Next up, Sydney, host of the 2000 Olympics. Well-covered Olympics, probably the first real commercial online Olympics. I was in the middle of the dot-com boom in Atlanta watching this Olympics, and I just wanted to go there and hang out. I mean, this Australia looks so cool. I book a lot of Australia and New Zealand cruises for the future now because they're still closed to travel. But it's an amazing destination. You can just tour the outback. You can tour the beautiful cities. The continent of Australia is actually just as big as the continental U.S., believe it or not. It's just very spread out. You can take a cruise all the way from Sydney around to Perth or circumnavigate. And then it's great is the Australia-New Zealand cruises, you see both continents. So cruise is way great way to see it, or just tour and drive. And they have a lot of Olympic history there because a lot of the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge were all part of the Olympics. As you come on, if I can give you guys a shout out, I will. But the best way to get my attention is leave me a comment. If you're watching, don't be shy. Leave a comment and tell me, where would you love to travel when you watch Olympics? Where did you fall in love with? I will mention one not on my list is Barcelona. Almost made it, probably my 8th. I just fell in love watching that 92 Olympics. So what destination are you in love with after watching the Olympics, and where would you want to go? Obvious one now, second host of the Olympics. I believe the first was 1960. Current host, Tokyo. Very unfortunate fans can't go. If you had plans to travel at this Olympics, I did not. You could still go there, but you can't go to the events because there's COVID still a problem there, and they're very conservative in dealing with it because they've been dealing with it for many years, and they're very protective of their healthcare system. Very unfortunate, but the event's still going on. Athletes doing great. Definitely check out NBC and Peacock and all their NBC Sports app to check out the coverage. Great destination. Just the first couple of days I've been watching and seeing all the background scenery, the culture, the immersion, the history, the empire. You know, the emperor is still the emperor there, somewhat so. Amazing destination that I will go to in the future, enjoy, 2 generations of Olympic history. And they've also Japan has hosted a Winter Games too, the 1998 Nagano Games. So there's many different Olympics have been in Japan. Not as many in the U.S., but numerous Olympics. Hey, Leslie Wiseman. She missed my Disney show recently, but she's on this one. Cherie. Hey, my friend Cherie's on. Next up, Rome. Rome is a phenomenal Olympic destination. It did host them a while back. Let me check out my cheat sheet here. I believe it was 1964. And let's see, Rome was 1960. Okay. And then Tokyo was 64. Had them reversed. Rome 60, Tokyo 64. And then Italy is a winter host coming up. Milan will be the Winter Olympics after Beijing. That's Winter Olympics. Beijing hosted the 2008 Summer Games, and they're the first city ever to host both the Winter and Summer Olympics. But Rome was 1960. Cortina was a Winter Olympics, I believe, the same year. And then Milan's coming up for the Winter Olympics. And who knows, maybe we'll get Europe back again in the future. But amazing city. Italy is on everyone's top 10 to visit. It's an amazing destination. I've had clients have been trying to go there for over a year and a half, but due to COVID, they rescheduled 3 times. And on 4-number trial, it looks like they're going to make it. Hey, Richard Litter's watching. Hey, Rich, leave a comment. Got some comments coming in. Fantastic. The Eternal City, you can't miss it. The Olympic history is not as dominant because it was so long ago, being 60 years ago now. But Rome is just everyone's top city to see. If you go to Italy, you have to pass through Rome. You have to see Rome. And you can see much of the country while there. I book a lot of people on like 2-week trips of Italy, maybe a cruise and some time on land. And Rome is always a big part of it. It is one of the ultimate destinations of Europe. All right, cranking through our top 7. Number 3, host of the 2016 Olympics. That was Rio. Come on, Copacabana Beach. Woo-hoo-hoo. I mean, that was just so much fun watching that Olympics. The 2014 World Cup, which was great to see, took place all throughout Brazil. And then Rio on the coast, Copacabana Beach, venues throughout the whole city. Great Olympics. U.S. performed very well at that Olympics, as they mostly do in Olympics closer to home. I just fell in love with Rio before. Christ the Redeemer statue, all the different mountains, Sugarloaf Mountain, and you're close to the Amazon from there. And you can see some other cities. But Rio is just an awesome city. Rockin' in Rio when I was younger watching MTV. Remember MTV? I always wanted to go to Rockin' Rio, see like Guns N' Roses play. So I'd love to go to Rio and check out their heritage. Brazil did real well in the Olympics in that Rio game, especially in volleyball and soccer. And they kept a lot of tradition around. The more recent the Olympics, the more heritage they're going to show. I know I lived in Atlanta from 98 to 2001, and I went to the 96 game. My buddy Mark Post, who's out there watching, hey, Mark, he got me to come down there and stay with him, and they kept a lot of that Centennial Park. That was really a bad area until they redid it for the games. And just the tradition of the Olympics is still there. Well, that's the same for every city that hosted the games. They kept that tradition. Another one's Lake Placid, New York. Los Angeles still has the Coliseum, and Los Angeles is coming back to host the Olympics after another city we're going to mention coming up. I didn't mention any U.S. cities in this poll. We're talking about exotic destinations. And plus, all these cities here are just amazing places you want to go see. I have some comments I'll get to as I go through, unless they're about a specific city I'm talking about. Oh, speaking of which, and Everett McCassie family's watching. Woo-hoo. Everett is my man, my Disney fan, my vacation fan. This guy knows how to cruise. And said, still on his bucket list. Me too, Everett. Excellent point. Great city. Great Olympic host. They did a fantastic job. I mean, part of what attracts me to a city is how well they host the games. I thought Atlanta did not do a great job. I moved there for other reasons. I was there, and it was so crowded. They sold way too many tickets. It was the most attended Olympics ever. But Rio did a real fantastic job of hosting the city, hosting the Olympics. And while I'm talking, we got a comment from Bonnie Barnes on YouTube. Hey, you got people on YouTube watching. I love when you connect with people in Olympics. This year, my daughter's friend Garrett Scantling is in the decathlon. That's right. We'll be cheering for him next week. As always, Olympics, one little preview. Swimming dominates the first week for Americans because we have more medals there. And track and field's week 2. So starting next weekend, you're going to see track and field. It's all about swimming. There'll be finals tonight, I think, ongoing the rest of the week. So we'll be cheering on Derek next week. Yay. Thank you, Bonnie. Great comment. And that's the thing, too. If you have someone you know who went to a city, that's your connection to that city. Like I had a friend in the Olympics in 96, and part of the allure was going to live where he really had a special moment in his life. Great comments, guys. Keep them coming. It's going to be a short show today because I have more Olympics to watch. I got to get back to my 5 screens in my house, thanks to NBC. All right, number 2. This will be the host of the next Olympics. I'll give you some time to guess as I kill some time. This is a city that just finished a famous bike race. And to me, it's a place I always want to go, mostly because of this bike race, not really because of the Olympics. They did host a very long time ago. It's not there. It is Gay Paris. It is Paris. And they hosted 1932. I was going to look it up. It was 1932. I got my Wikipedia cheat sheet here. Let me see if I'm right on that. I'm pretty sure it's 32. Nope, 1924. That was close. A long time ago, but they already won the bid last time. And I will end telling you about who won the bid for the next Olympics, which is after Paris, or after U.S., actually. I'm losing track. But Paris is the host of the 2024 games. Los Angeles will be the host of the 2028 games. And a little bit of trivia out there. Why was the selection of Los Angeles unique? Why will this be a first time for a city? If you know the answer, put it in the chat. I will tell you at the end if I don't get it. No prizes today. Didn't plan on trivia. I'm just thinking of it as I go. But when LA was selected, when she does host the games in 2028 after Paris, they always go like different continents, Asia, Europe, North America. There's a method to their madness, the Olympic Committee. Why was that so unique? It'll be a special place. Never happened before when they host the games. Why is it unique? Everett, shout out to the military members Olympic. Thank you. Excellent point. If you guys got just an Olympic comment, put it in. This is an Olympic show, but it is a travel show. But I really did this to spur interest in the games. And again, I only did 7 because I want to keep it short. But if you got some other comments about your favorite Olympic city or even member of the games, thank you, Everett. Shout that out. So Paris is a place I always want to go to. Just watched the Tour de France finish up last weekend. One of my favorite bike races. I love cheering on Lance Armstrong years ago, even though he cheated. It's still fun to cheer him on. And this is just an amazing place. You know, they do laps around the Champs-Élysées. You can go to different mountain stages. I wanted to spend the whole month in France one year watching the Tour de France, getting the devil's costume like that guy you see on TV a lot, and then ending up on Gay Paris and the Champs-Élysées and cheering those guys on for the final. And now it's on my list, my bucket wish trip, as I say, to go to the Olympics. So now I'm actually planting seeds for you guys of where you want to go next. Paris, LA, that's an easy one for us. And then just announced at the start of this Olympics, this Tokyo Olympiad, Brisbane, Australia will host the Olympics in 2032. Wow, they plan far out. Is that right? Yeah, guess so. I think that's right. Yeah, because it goes 2024 and then LA. I'll go back to my cheat sheet. Now, we talked about Sydney being number 6, Paris number 2, Brisbane is a future destination. What other Australian city hosted the Olympics? You get brownie points if you pick the year too. It was a little bit ago, and I actually forgot about it until I was doing research for the show for you guys. Oh, back to Paris and the Louvre. Thank you. I got off track. Thanks for keeping me back on track, Everett. So back to Paris. I'm waiting for comments in the chat for trivia. Yeah, of course you're going to go to Paris and watch the Olympics, but the Louvre, the Eiffel Tower, the museums, the culture, the people, Now, Parisians are known to be pretty, I would say, not welcoming to Americans, but everyone I talk to lives there or spends a lot of time there. It's not true. Just they're not as forthcoming with information as the different destinations you go to, like Italians, for instance. It's an amazing culture, all the things to see. And yes, I will go to the Louvre while I'm there. And on the counter side, could we cover both points in the show? Thank you guys for being out with the comments. And by the way, Leslie Wiseman said, sorry about yesterday's show. That's no probably the show before this. But Japan's on our list, and been to Rome and would go again. There you go. Great Olympic vacation destination. 1960 Rome. And Leslie says, and been to Paris. Honestly, would not go back. Oh, excellent for swimming. I swam in high school and college club. For your oh my God, Leslie, you're awesome. Wow, that was like a two-hitter. So a comment about Paris. And again, Paris has mixed reviews, which is so weird because Italy almost does not. Rome, again, gets a little crowded, but people will go back. Flat out Paris, I know so many Americans that will never go back. And then others that just love it. It's their favorite city. I have not been, honestly, but I will go for the Tour de France, and I plan to be there for the 2024 Olympiad, Summer Olympics. And Everett McCassie, and we're leading up to number one, by the way, my number one vacation destination, combination of history, culture. You probably know it's going to be culture, history, lots of history. And that's need to hit Brisbane, haven't been that part of the country. Yes, Everett, that's going to be awesome. That Olympiad, already announced, already official. The only city that ran, it's getting so costly to host them, less and less cities are applying. So they had just approved that they had the ability to do it. So they approved them. And back to Leslie's comment, yes, Melbourne, Australia did host an Olympics. And I want to say a long time ago. Oh, 1956. 1956. Oh, now we got some guys coming in, some good comments. I'm going to keep going through comments and hold off on number one. You have to stay tuned for number one. Number one has a lot of Olympic history and a whole lot of maybe mythical history. Everett goes, yep, Brisbane. Then he goes, what about Munich? Great choice. I'm going to Munich for Oktoberfest in 2022. Try to go in 2020. Try to go this year, but pandemic happened. Everett. Yes, they hosted the Olympics. It's a great vacation destination. Did make my top 7, but that's okay if it's made yours. And it's not a lot of places I book people, honestly, Everett. I booked Germany, but not as much to Everett, more Berlin, the other cities. And that's just my clients. I don't know why that is, but great comment. I believe Munich was also in the 50s. If you know it, Everett, shout it out. Because I did not memorize all of these because too much to remember. Mexico City. Oh, 1972. I should know that. And JG is on. JG, all right. Woo-hoo. My man Jim Gaffney up in Hallandale Beach chilling on the Intercoastal Waterway. Been to Munich, great city. Hey, Jim was on my show, late February show. Enjoy the journey. Check it out. I have a playlist on the YouTube channel. And he came on, did a great show about his history, Matera, about a destination. He told a great story about this guy looks like King Ludwig in Munich, about a little far down from Munich, and Neuschwanstein in Bavaria. So check that show out. Everett McCassie says 36. No, that's incorrect. there was in those Olympics in 36. That was Berlin. Munich was whatever I just said, 56. 72. Losing track. All right, guys, appreciate the comments. Getting there 20 minutes in, so I want to get my final. No one guessed it, but this is an easy guess because it is the home of the original Olympics. Why are Olympics called the Olympics? Because they first took place in ancient Greek times in the city of Olympia. In the first modern games, which are the brainchild of actually a Frenchman. That's why there's 2 languages at every Olympics. English and French is because a Frenchman actually found the original Olympics. Can't remember his name, but there's a statue of him in Centennial Park, Atlanta. And of course, I'm talking about Athens, host in the year 500 BC, whatever it was, 500 AD. And then 1896, first modern games, thanks to this Frenchman and a big crew of people who are very impressed to get these games back off. And then since then, she was going to host again in 1996. Small city, couldn't get their act together. Big economic problems for many years there. So Atlanta stepped in. And then finally in 2004, she came back and hosted the games again. The smallest city to host the Olympics in many years, and probably the smallest for a long time, because it's a big production now. You guys, your comments, you've been awesome. Yeah, that was a great time when Jim was on the show. Check it out. Fantastic Endeavors YouTube. Enjoy the Journey playlist. Get a cocktail, sit back, listen to my shows. They're all there categorized. Late February show, whatever that Friday, Saturday is. We did a morning show because we had the Motor Speedway races. Hey, Jim, early surprise for you. I already got that cargo container booked for next year. So you're invited again. And let's see, Munich to visit when staying furthest out. Garmisch. Yeah, Garmisch is beautiful. Big ski destination. A lot of our clubs here in Florida, Everett, go skiing at Garmisch and the different ski mountains throughout the Alps and also Germany too. And that's right. Jim used to live around Atlanta too. I lived there for 3 years, and I really enjoyed the Olympic culture there because it was so fresh. That was the biggest Olympics ever held. And I was there 3 years after the games happened, or 3 years actually, just 2 years plus. And it was amazing. So back to my list. And that's right, buddy. He's ready. Athens is the number one. How could you not choose it? The history there. I mean, you could spend a week just researching the Olympic history, the historic history of Olympia, and also the modern history around Athens, and then also see all the tributes to the games. Like you can go to the old Parthenon Arena, which they hosted a celebratory event, very narrow track for the 2004 games, but it wasn't used for events. It was too small. And they even had the shot put competition at the original venue. There's still pieces of stone walls left in Olympia. I thought that was a very cool tribute to the historic ancient games. What a destination. Greece in general, Greek Isles cruises, go to Athens, enjoy the Acropolis, enjoy the city, the food, the history, and then hop on a plane, hop on a cruise, see the Greek Isles, see the Cyclades, see Santorini, and really enjoy the culture of Greece. It's my number one destination. It has everything. It has the Olympic history, new and modern modern, because it's the home of the Modern Olympics 1896, 2004, then the Ancient Olympics from Olympia. And then it has everything, a destination. I book so many people to Greek on cruises on land because it's just such an amazing destination. One of my top 10 destinations in general, never mind Olympic destinations. And Everett, thank you. Had to be Athens. Also on the bucket list is COVID spoiled our plan, but we'll try again. Yes, I'm always here to help. If you like these destinations, you like this show today, support our travel agency, Fantastic Endeavors. We do this to connect with you fans. And myself, Sue Mooney, Skip Shearer, if you know them, connect with us on Facebook or DM us. And I'll give you my contact details here. 453-9208, area code 305 here in the Key Largo. And Dave at bucketwithstrip.com. I've been covering the top 7 Olympic vacation destinations. Very interactive show today. Appreciate you guys taking a break from the games and joining me with comments. Shout out to Leslie Wiseman for getting the Melbourne answer right. Wow, very good. Because that was a long time ago, those games. Everett McCaskey, one of my big fans, always on. JG appearing on the show again after a long time. Appreciate you guys being on. Everyone who came on. Cherie was on. And Janice Beavick's out there. Hey, Janice, you missed my trivia. No prizes today. She's one of my trivia mavens. All the diehards out there. As always, guys, subscribe to my YouTube channel. All my shows go there on recording afterwards. Check those out. We'll be live again next week. Very special topic to be determined. But we'll see you then, probably Sunday afternoon next week. Have a good night and watch the Olympics. Go USA.